Once upon a time in the peaceful village of Isioma, there lived a man named Okafor, who was known by all as Okafor the Short. He was not just short, he had a big head with a round belly and a booming voice that always demanded attention. Despite his size, Okafor had the confidence of a giant. But when it came to marriage, he was very picky. "I will not marry just any woman," he would declare, pounding his tiny chest. "I want the most beautiful woman in the entire village." Okafor had everything a woman would wish for a man to have in the village, had a lot of farmland, and flocks of cows. He was a great farmer and had money to take care of any woman that I would agree to marry him. His father, Papa Okafor, tried everything. He arranged meetings with kind-hearted girls who could cook, farm, and dance beautifully. But Okafor always turned them down. His father was worried that he would die without seeing his son marry, and asked Okafor's best friend, Chibike, to help him pick a wife. First they introduced Chism to Okafor to marry, but he complained that Chism has a big teeth. Then his friend brought Amoka, but Okafor still complained that her legs are too long. Finally, his friend introduced Uju to him, but he still refused and complained she's not fine enough. The villagers shook their heads and gossiped whenever Okafor passed by. How can he reject all those beautiful women they introduced to him? One of the men says. Who does Okafor think he is? As short and ugly as he is, he should accept any maiden that agreed to marry him. The other men will say. Okafor didn't care about what people were saying about him. He still stood his ground that he wanted to marry the most beautiful girl in the village. Until one day, during the village New Yam festival, Okafor laid eyes on Amarachi, a breathtakingly beautiful maiden with skin like fresh palm oil, eyes like river pearls, and hair that danced like fire in the wind. He knew instantly, this is the one. Okafor walked to her, made his intention known to her immediately without waiting time or beating around the bush. Amarachi laughed at him. In her mind she will never accept his proposal. She's too fine to marry a short ugly man. After months of chasing, bribing, and pleading, he finally won her heart with endless gifts of gold bangles and sweet palm wine. They got married in the grandest ceremony the village had ever seen. When Okafor brought his newly wedded wife, the villagers could not take their eyes off his wife. Her beauty was such that no man could resist staring at her whenever she passed by. Again, everybody liked talking nicely to her so that she could at least smile at them. This popularity brought about by Amarachi's beauty kept her husband uncomfortable. He was always nursing the feeling that other men, especially those wealthier, would take her away from him. So he decided to take a number of steps to forestall this. But Okafor had a secret fear. He didn't want any man to see Amarachi's beauty. So he decided to do something about it. First, he forbade her from going to the farm, the stream, or the market, and even from visiting friends and relatives. Second, he built a very tall house with many floors and kept her at the topmost floor so that she did not come down. Third, he made sure he provided all her needs so that she did not find them wanting and run away with other men. Okafor woke up early every morning before cockcrows to go to the stream to fetch water. On coming back he prepared breakfast, after which he went off to the farm. He never forgot to carry some firewood on his way back. On market days, he left before every other person and came back after every person. Amarachi, the beautiful wife on her own part, never liked this kind of suffocating care. She felt that she was being denied the opportunity to be a full-grown woman, a mother, and the opportunity to live like a normal human being. So she tried several times to persuade her husband to allow her to do some work, but to no avail. She pleaded with him to be allowed to at least associate with her kind, but he would not agree. "I'll do everything," he told her. "You just stay and rest your beauty. Amarachi, my flower, hidden from the sun, your beauty shines like no other one, only my eyes shall see your face, no other man shall take my place." This continued for months. Amarachi did nothing all day, no sunlight, no fresh air, no conversation. Just 4 walls and silence. Soon, loneliness began to eat at her heart. Every day she would sit by the window at the topmost floor of a storied building, watching as the world go by. One morning, after Okafor had gone to the market, she wrapped herself in a long gown, tied a scarf, and disguised herself. "I just want to see the world," she whispered to herself. She sneaked out of the tall house and walked toward the market. As soon as she entered, a drummer struck his drum, and the sound of music filled the air. She couldn't resist. She started dancing, her hips swayed like the ocean tide. The crowd went wild. People clapped and stared at her. Traders dropped their wares to watch her. Even Okafor was there, holding a basket of vegetables. "Who is that beautiful dancer?" he asked aloud, completely enchanted. But he didn't recognize her, his own wife, because she had disguised herself so well. From that day, Amarachi began to sneak out often. She wore different wrappers, danced at the market, and tasted freedom. But Okafor remained clueless. Until one day. From that day, Amarachi's change began. She no longer waited eagerly by the door for Okafor's return. She didn't smile when he sang her sweet songs. Sometimes, she would return late from her secret trips to the market, and Okafor would stand by the door, confused, wondering why she didn't answer his song. What made his wife change suddenly? But he did not have a clue. Then, one evening, as Okafor returned from the stream, he overheard two young men talking near the palm tree. "Did you see that fine dancer at the market today?" "Oh, I heard she lives in the tall house behind the hill. They say her husband is a short man who hides her like gold." Okafor's heart froze. He rushed home. As he arrived, he saw a yellow dress still hanging over the window, a piece of the disguise Amarachi used. Everything fell into place. He waited. When Amarachi finally returned and climbed through the hidden back door, he was sitting on the floor, tears in his eyes. "You betrayed me," he whispered. "You were supposed to be mine alone. My jewel. My secret beauty." Amarachi stood tall, her arms folded. "I am not a statue. I am a woman. I want to feel the wind, laugh, dance, and live. Not just exist behind these walls." That night, something broke in Okafor. Not his pride, his heart. But instead of changing, he became harsher. The next day, he sealed the back door with stones, removed the window, and replaced it with metal bars. He hid all her clothes and wrappers except one. "You are my wife. You will obey me," he said, pacing. But Amarachi was no longer the shy village girl. Her spirit had tasted freedom, and no wall could cage it now. She refused to speak to him. She refused to dance to his song. She sat by the barred window every day and stared into the sky, silent and distant. Okafor could no longer eat or sleep. His beautiful wife was like a bird in a golden cage, silent, sad, and unreachable. One afternoon, Okafor wept under the mango tree near the house. "God of the hills. What do I do? I just wanted to protect her. But now, I've lost her." An old woman passing by stopped and looked at him. Her name was Mama Ifioma, known for her strange ways and ancient knowledge. "You cannot chain beauty and expect it to smile," she said, sitting beside him. Okafor wiped his tears. "I don't want to lose her. Tell me what to do." Mama Ifioma leaned close. "If you want her heart again, you must not control her. You must make her choose you willingly. Or you'll forever be the man who tried to hide the sun." But Okafor was desperate. And desperation makes a man foolish. The next morning, he traveled to the forest shrine of Ajola the trickster, a spirit known for granting power. At a cost. Okafor journeyed deep into the forbidden forest of Agora, where birds never chirped and the trees whispered secrets to the wind. At the heart of the forest stood a crooked shrine made of bones, feathers, and dried gods. There, Ajola the trickster waited, neither man nor beast, neither young nor old, with eyes like smoke and laughter like thunder. "I know why you've come, Okafor of Isioma," Ajola said, before Okafor even opened his mouth. You want to control the heart of your wife? Yes. Okafor cried, falling to his knees. She no longer listens to me. She no longer sings my song. She goes out, dances for strangers. I want her to love only me again. I want her to be mine, truly mine. Ajola grinned, revealing teeth as sharp as broken glass. There is a way. But the price is heavy. I'll pay it. Anything. Ajola plucked a feather from his headdress and handed it to Okafor. Touch her forehead with this feather while she sleeps. Her eyes will forget every other face but yours. Her heart will beat only when you speak. She will see only you, love only you, obey only you. Okafor's eyes lit up. Yes. That's perfect. But Ajola's voice darkened. The moment she tries to fight the spell, your body will begin to shrink. The more she resists, the smaller you become, until one day, you vanish completely. Okafor hesitated. But jealousy and desperation had blinded his heart. I accept. He took the feather and returned home under the cover of night. That evening, while Amarachi slept by the window, he touched her forehead with the enchanted feather and whispered, "Forget the world. Forget the crowd. See only me. Love only me." The next morning, Amarachi woke up smiling. She called his name sweetly. She danced for him. She kissed his hands. Okafor wept tears of joy. It worked. For days, the house was filled with laughter and warmth again. Okafor sang, Amarachi danced, and he felt like the luckiest man alive. But Amarachi's spirit was strong, too strong. One day, as she sat by the barred window, she saw a little girl chase a butterfly in the wind, laughing freely. A shadow stirred in her heart. Something isn't right, she thought. That night, she had a dream. In it, she saw Ajola laughing and Okafor holding the feather. She woke up trembling. The next day, she refused to dance. Okafor begged her. She shook her head. I don't feel like it, she said softly. That evening, as he bent to fetch water, his hands felt smaller. His sleeve swallowed his wrist. He looked into the stream and gasped. His reflection was shrinking. Panic struck. He ran home. He cried. He pleaded. Amarachi, please. Love me. Obey me. But Amarachi began to remember. She remembered the market. The music. The joy. The freedom. And the more she remembered, the smaller Okafor became. Within weeks, he was the size of a cat, hiding behind chairs, whispering his songs in a high-pitched voice. Amarachi's heart was torn between pity and a desire for freedom. Finally, she broke the bars from the window, stepped out barefoot into the morning sun, and walked into the village, proud and free. Okafor remained in the tall house, shrinking more each day, singing faintly from the shadows, until one day, he vanished. Moral of the story: you cannot imprison love. Beauty, like the wind, must be free. Those who try to own what was meant to be shared will lose even the little they have.